And if you want to appeal to voters, especially male voters, then authenticity is very important. Now, the Harris-Walsh ticket can't match this authenticity because nothing about the candidates is genuine. If you put a Glock in Kamala's hands, and she'll do exactly what Tim Walz did, probably. When candidates are this fake and lame and desperate, their surrogates don't have much to go on. So they end up sounding inauthentic and desperate. Here, for example, are Jennifer Garner and Julia Roberts making what could be the single most inauthentic acting performance in their respective careers, which is saying something. Watch.
I just hope that all the women here tonight talk to all the men that aren't here tonight. And all you brave men that are here tonight. Talk to all the other men that aren't here tonight. And let's just get it going. Enough with the fighting. Let's get to the uniting. Let's get to the joy. Let's get to the repair. Let's get to prices dropping, rents dropping.
Listen, I know you've knocked and knocked, and I know you've called and called. I know you've given and given, and you're worn out. But the truth is, you are the front lines. This is it. I mean, I'm looking at these beautiful faces, these women, and these strong men. God, is there anything sexier than a man who is like men for Kamala? You are the front line of this battle. For lack of a better word, it really is. There are two ways forward, and you guys are going to have a huge voice in how that way is chosen.
And here we are, friends, back today with another clip from Matt Walsh's show, where he's basically talking about the Democratic Party and their absolute astonishment. The Democrats are wondering why on earth they're losing male voters. How could men just not be so outright supportive of Kamala Harris and her vice presidential pick, Tim Walz? It's a real mystery, guys. I mean, maybe you can help me put something in the comments to explain this to me. Why on earth? I mean, you just saw the actresses there. There was we had Julia Roberts and Jennifer Garner. Julia Roberts, of course, had to mention joy. Democrats are a party of joy. Come on, guys, bring the joy. And Jennifer Garner said that there's nothing sexier than a man who supports Kamala. Yeah. Well, I'll have to take a source on that. Try that out in real life. Get some empirical research on that. Let's see what Matt Walsh has to say.
So Julia Roberts wants women to go home and nag their husbands and boyfriends into supporting Kamala Harris. And if they do that, then prices will come down and we'll have joy again in the country or something. Never mind the fact that Kamala Harris is the sitting vice president and that by Kamala Harris's own admission, she bears responsibility for the Biden administration's policies. But don't think about that. Just berate as many men as you can find until they relent and do what you want. And then there's Jennifer Garner saying that men who support Kamala are sexy. Perhaps that will convince men to rush out to the polls. If they aren't convinced by the camo hat or by a lecture from Barack Obama, maybe they'll do it to impress Jennifer Garner. But, I highly doubt it. And if you're a left-wing male and you're passionate about Kamala Harris, at this point, you need to be somebody like Harry Sisson, the DNC shill who posts a lot on TikTok. Like him, you can't have any shame or self-respect whatsoever. So here was his pitch to men that he just posted a couple of days ago. And let's see if he does any better. Watch.
There are a lot of cowardly men out there who are supporting Donald Trump and think it's manly to do so. I don't know about you folks, but when I was growing up, all of the men around me told me to respect women, treat them with the dignity that they deserve, don't bully women, don't insult women. Donald Trump has done every single one of those things. He's bullied women, insulted them for their age, weight, appearance, things of that nature. He was found liable in court by a jury of his peers for assaulting a woman. And of course, to this day, he brags about taking reproductive rights away from women. So if you're a man and you're supporting this guy, what's wrong with you? Get it together. If you are willing to overlook Donald Trump thinking that your wife, your daughter, your sister, your mother are just pieces of meat and that he doesn't care about them, then I'm sorry. You're a coward. Now take your Monster Energy drinks, your lifted truck, and get the hell out.
Who is this kid? Again, please let me know in the comments. I have no idea who Harry Sisson is. And I do not take advice from male who has not started shaving yet. Sorry. One of the many reasons that I think voting, or the right to vote, should be restricted in many ways, including by age. I don't know how old this kid is. He looks like he's about 18, if that. Apparently he's somebody on TikTok. And yeah, again, like I said, just more evidence why the voting age should be greatly increased and not kept at 18, much less lowered, like, of course, Democrats want, because they can mold the minds of younger people more easily, especially when leftism has captured all the, a huge proportion of the educational institutions from beginning to end in the United States. I mean, from kindergarten all the way up through college. So I have no idea who that kid is. Of course, he had to get in a dig at working class people at the end there. Anybody who's voting for Trump must have a lifted truck and whatever else he said. Yeah. You mean guys who actually do real work in the real world, Harry, instead of just make videos on TikTok? Anyway, let's get back to Matt Walsh. He's probably going to say something more interesting.
When I was growing up, says a guy who looks like he's 12, and here we have the Democrats going back to the same well, a well that's completely dry because there was never any water in it to begin with. But this is all they have on the left. They don't know how to appeal to men, so after the gimmicks fail, the hats and all that stuff, they resort to insufferable, pretentious, irritating lectures delivered by the most annoying and inauthentic people on earth. Now, it's true that men will sometimes respond to a little bit of harshness, a little bit of tough talk, the old coach's speech in the locker room at halftime type of thing, but only when that tough talk is delivered by somebody who is serious and strong and credible, a leader of men, not a mousy little dork who would cry and call his mom if he got a flat tire. But this is the strategy the Kamala Harris campaign is now using in order to win over male voters. It's a mixture of insults and condescension. But all this stuff fails because the Democrats' message to men is fundamentally emasculating and debasing. They can't even pretend to respect the voters they're trying ostensibly to appeal to here. They can't even pretend to respect men, even as they're trying to berate men into voting for them. But that's the point of it. It's why they're promoting Doug Emhoff as a prototypical male, even after he had an affair with his nanny, even after he was accused of hitting his ex-girlfriend. The position of the Harris-Walsh campaign is that none of that matters. In their eyes, you're masculine as long as you do one thing and one thing only, which is to submit to whatever liberal women want you to do. Just do whatever they tell you. Now, the problem for the Kamala Harris campaign, the reason they're flailing so publicly, is that despite Democrats' efforts to destroy it, actual masculinity still exists in this country. Men still exist. And in just a couple of weeks, to the great horror of Julia Roberts and Barack Obama, those men will vote.
Well, very good point. Yes, men do still exist. And I think, say what you want about Donald Trump. He is authentic. Matt Walsh just made very good points. The Democratic candidates are appallingly inauthentic. It was the same in 2016 when Trump was running. They were just horrifically inauthentic. And yeah, you may even hate Trump. Suppose you hate Trump. He's still authentic. Yeah. I've already seen him. He's been on a couple podcasts or shows. I've seen a few clips. Maybe I'll comment on some in a day or two. And the guy's just, he can just fit in. Yeah, of course, he's rich and, he moves and has moved throughout his career in rarefied circles. But he's just got the touch. He has got the common touch. He can hang out with anybody and people like him. Even the people who hate him, I bet if they actually sat down and had a chat with him, like some of these podcasters do, they would probably get on fine with him. Might not agree with any of his policies, but the guy comes across authentic, which actually does count. Democrats don't seem to get that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll leave it there. And as usual, if you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel and keep making content for you.